and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Teresa. Please take the roll.
Okay, Mayor Jones.
Here.
Kill.
Here.
Carlson.
Here.
Bowen.
Yep.
Horacek.
Yes.
Schilling. Here. And I have not heard from Mattson, have you?
I have not.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and start rolling. Any action, agenda, or additions to the agenda for tonight's meeting?
Motion to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Thank you.
Someone second? I'll second it. No one there.
Any discussion?
Thank you, Keith. I don't care what they say about you, you're doing a great job.
Hearing none, we'll vote. Schilling.
Yes.
Horacek.
Yes.
Keel. Yes. Bowen.
Yes.
Mattson.
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
All right, how about the minutes from the 2/3/26 meeting? Any action?
Motion to approve minutes from 2/3/2026 meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Carlson.
Yes.
Mattson.
Yes.
Bowen.
Yes.
Keel.
Yes.
Horacek.
Yes.
Schilling.
Yes.
Okay, the bills are in your packet. Any action on the bills presented for payment?
Make a motion to approve bills for payment as presented.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I just got a question on the, and I think this is probably a yearly thing, it's a mass notification, SYS, so is that what we use as a city if something needs to go out, is that a yearly thing with that?
Yep. Snow, like, it's our communications as well, like with email or text, when we, snow alerts we send out, and, yeah, information that we need out.
And so it's people that are signed up, on the email, they put their, okay,
Yep,
cool.
you gotta sign
I
up
didn't-
for it, either email, text, or both, or whatever, yep. But
Awesome.
yeah, that's a yearly fee.
Okay.
for that
Does that
stuff.
do both text and email, or just email?
You can do
Both?
Both and either,
Okay.
either or both.
Okay, yep. All right,
You decide that when you sign up.
thanks, Sean. Anything else?
All I got.
Hearing none, we'll vote. Schilling.
Yes.
Horacek.
Yes.
Keel.
Yes.
Bowen.
Yes.
Mattson.
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
All right, looks like we have nobody from the public, no public comment. Applications, agreements, hearings, resolutions, ordinance, there's none tonight. Fire department report was laying on your desk. Todd was here, he now knows that he doesn't have to come other than every quarter, so we probably won't see him for a month or so. And
He did say if you guys have any questions, you know, just get
Oh,
hold
yes.
of them,
Yeah.
or let me know and I can get hold of them or whatnot, so.
Yep, looks good. Anybody got any questions? No? All right, we'll move on. Next up, building inspector report, Kyle Christensen.
Any questions on the code enforcement or building side?
I don't know if I have a question on the specific, this is more of a general question, and I probably have asked this before. I'm not trying to cause a 5 or 10 minute debate here, so, but I think it's a point that is, you know, how do I say this? So there are, obviously code, so I'll give a real life example. So 3 years ago, I poured a concrete pad on the side of my house, okay? I was like, all right, if I have a third vehicle, if I want to park, we've got a concrete pad. So I got a good deal on it, but I poured a concrete pad, did all the dirt work, all of that. And then I know that, I'm not going to say specifics, but I know that there's parts of town where people have either put dirt or some type of rock on the side of their house, and they park there. Or there's people that park stuff, trailers or things in the back of their house, and I'm fine with that. But I was always under the impression that I have to have a concrete pad to park on. So I spent probably $4,000 to pour a rather large concrete pad to do that. And then I know that there's people that, you know, are doing these other ways to park things. So I'm kind of like, okay, I spent $4,000, you know, hard-earned money, and I did this the right way. And then there's people that I know for extensive periods of time that have used other means or methods, other material to park things on for a long period of time. Do we have any, like, I'm just, like, did I waste my money? I'm just curious, because I feel like I did, because like there's people that have not followed that, which I'm fine with. If that's the way, like I'm fine with that. Is there a mechanism, and I'm not looking for us to be, once again, I'll throw out this, well, I'm not gonna throw out that term. I'm not looking for us to like hyper patrol these things. But I'm kind of like, I felt like I wasted my money, because there's people that I know that are parking in their backyard or on gravel, getting away with it, not doing what I did the right way, and it doesn't seem like anything is being done. And I'm just like, okay, I want my money back.
There's quite a bit of parking in town that's grandfathered in. So if
Okay.
you got an existing gravel pad or
Yep.
driveway, as long as it's maintained, it's grandfathered in, it's allowed.
How about into a backyard?
Parking on grass is
Doesn't
not,
matter where it's
right?
at.
So backyard on grass, is that not?
No,
Okay.
no grass at all.
No grass at all.
I want to make one comment
Yes,
to
please.
something you said. So you don't feel like we're at a point where we can hyper enforce.
And I
This
don't
is
think we
one-
should.
But this
Why?
is one of those situations, I don't know that there's a mid-ground. You either don't, or you enforce you know what I mean?
I know. It's
I
like-
get what you're saying,
Yeah, it's
but
like
I don't
I'm
know how
confused.
you say, we're gonna enforce this, but we're gonna let this go.
Actually, Kyle addresses a lot of them, like, every month, I want to say.
No, I'm sure they're addressed,
Yeah.
but that to me is a very like subjective term. Like, what does it mean to be addressed? So like I said, I'm not gonna blast somebody publicly, but I know that there's a particular property in town where I'm like, they're parking on grass, they parked on grass for, well, ever since I've lived in Hartford. I bought my house in 2017. So we're going on 9 years in December when I bought my house. And so I'm like, okay, 9 years. You know, so like either A, have these codes that people are gonna follow, or we just have them as just like, it's kind of like wearing mastering code. We're just gonna wear it to look good. They don't actually do anything. So
You know,
like, this is what I don't get,
property,
like,
You should privately get a hold
I
of
ha-
Kyle and
Yeah, shoot me an email
address
or
it.
text.
if you go back through, I have on this specific one.
Yeah, Remind me.
But we can reconvene, but I'm just like, 9 years.
But there shouldn't be any parking on grass at all. But Kyle's right, you know, we didn't require the hard surface
I've been holding on to
parking.
this for a while.
No, hey, no, Michelle, I forgot about it. I'm just like, we're going through the corner. I'm just like, it's a topic of conversation. Either we're gonna enforce them or not, you know?
I don't know, I think it's a
It's a light
matter of, do
agenda.
we go
Let's
around and
hammer
look
it.
for them, but.
What's
I think
that?
I said
Most
it.
of our ordinances
It's
get
a
a
light
warning
agenda, let's hammer it.
letter first, don't they?
Yes.
So if they do get a warning and then they don't do it when they follow up,
But
and
then what
then,
happens after that,
They
though?
get
Well, they
fined.
get a letter, they get a fine.
but if they do it again in 6 months, like, it's not
Then we
like
start the
Kyle's
process
driving every
again,
street.
right? We letter them, we
9
do
years.
this, we do
It's
that.
visible on the street.
So how do we, as city councilman and mayor, know if a specific property is grandfathered in or not?
That's a
Get hold
great
of Kyle.
question.
It's difficult. I use the county's GIS map, because you can,
Go
So
back.
there is a record somewhere?
it's
Usually,
it's
I mean,
tough.
it depends on how clear the GIS map is.
Okay.
So I can load up, like, say, 2015's GIS map, and
You should make them put a flag in their window. To
I'm
identify it.
grandfathered.
Grandfather. That might be like a mafia thing. We gotta be careful with that, you know?
Probably flag.
So,
Godfather.
Sean, to address your question, I'm not, when I drive around town, I'm not peering in everybody's backyards per se, but if I know something on the side of the house or in the
Yeah.
front yard, I usually address it.
Fair enough. That's all I need.
Haven't
We can
we
move on.
established
If you
a
got
long
anything
time ago
specific, just reach out to
that
me.
we're a complaint-based enforcement, right? Like, if there's,
Mostly,
there's a
yeah.
We're
complaint,
reactionary.
yeah. Oh,
And,
yeah.
and I'm totally cool being that
he's
way.
just part-time. Currently.
So, okay,
I'm good.
okay, because I want to, you really started,
Michelle.
so now I'm gonna go on to my path.
I'm giving you
How,
coffee.
how or when do we as a city start looking at some of these properties that are becoming disheveled? I don't know what's the good word.
Well, let me add on to that. 'cause-
Blighted is the word.
Blighted.
Or, I'm gonna add on to that exact point. So if there's a property, so I put up a fence, I did the building thing, yeah, I follow all the rules.
Down the rabbit hole.
No, it's not a wrap, this is important stuff here. We have a short agenda, we're gonna make it long. We broke a record
No.
last Sunday.
Yeah, no,
last
we-
time.
yeah.
Okay, but yeah, no, but it's a good point, so like
You've
if there's.
exceeded your 5 minutes, I'm just saying.
Okay, well, I'm
No,
not.
no, that's fine.
That's, yeah, the mayor, he's got this thing right here.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God.
But yeah, a blighted property or a property that has a fallen down fence for years, it's like, okay, and I get that. But if my wooden fence fell down and I just let it chill for years, should I expect just to let it be fine?
I think it's, you have to, which ordinance is it violating?
Right.
I gotta say, a falling down.
Because I have a lot
A
of
fence that's
I
fallen
have a lot of
down.
things in my area, we'll say, that I don't care for, that I
No.
think should be dealt with, but they don't violate an ordinance.
Well, I think at some, maybe to get this started, at some point, when we have our get-together, we're gonna invite Kyle.
I didn't mean to rope you into that, I'm just asking questions.
No, I really,
I have
don't you
to get
think?
together.
That'd be a good place, and then,
We could start with rental properties.
I mean,
I think that'd be a good time.
I feel like I'm personally.
don't you think? And then we could kind of,
Put all of our minds together and think about a good solution.
as management, so does, as the leadership team, let's talk about this and see what we think. Let's do that next month. Let's invite him in. Is that all right?
On Thursday.
Okay.
Yep, so it's perfect.
Sean, you've been holding on to this.
I have been.
I hope you feel better.
Thank you for your attention to
Let
this
it out,
matter.
let it out, buddy.
All right. You got anything else, Kyle?
I got an update, couple building, construction related,
Yes,
bills that are in here right now, if you'd like to hear them.
you bet.
So Senate Bill 129, Pierre's looking at adopting the 24 building codes. So if adopted, the effective date will be July 1st. Paul is in communications with Neil King, Sioux Falls' building official. And typically, they've given him a boilerplate copy that we can use so we can adopt the code for ourselves.
Okay,
It's currently passed the Senate, it's waiting for a House vote.
okay,
And then another one is Senate Bill 3. They're looking at limiting types of residential improvements for which we as a city can permit. Originally, they included items such as non-structural interior projects. I think like your basement finishes, your window wells, stuff like that. And then they originally included roofs, sidings, doors, gutters, downspouts, and fencing panels or posts. They've now since amended it. Basically, how I'm reading through, we may see in, how it affect Hartford would be, siding still on the list, and then there's mention of fencing panel or posts, and I'm not 100% sure if they mean eliminating permit work for all fences, like putting up a new fence, or it's existing. I think it's existing, but I'm not 100%.
okay.
That one has passed the Senate, it's waiting for the House to vote on that one as well.
They are not taking roofs off the,
They took roofs off.
Wow.
So you don't have to permit for a re-roof any
You
longer?
do.
You do.
These were See the things things they were you
Oh,
don't.
you do have to?
Yeah, they were gonna admit.
Okay.
So the list is what you don't.
So you still do for a roof, but not for siding.
Okay,
We don't
gotcha.
pay
Oh,
for
that's the other, okay,
Fence
okay.
repairs and
So I think the only thing that
non-structural
could
interior.
affect us if this passes is we would no longer be able to permit siding projects.
Okay,
Because a lot of these we don't already permit, like
Okay.
downspouts, gutters, doors, windows, if they're the same size, we don't permit them already. It's just repair
Right.
work.
and isn't it typically like with downspouts and stuff, if you're tearing off and putting back on, I don't know that we have to.
No, you do not have.
We don't have to permit for that.
Within the city, you do not
Right.
have to permit for
Right,
that, no.
right, okay. All right,
Other than that, that's all I got.
that's good to know. Anybody else got any questions for Kyle? All right, thank you, Kyle, and we'll look forward to having you at the next meeting of the staff. Now he's gonna be scared.
I don't think he goes all night.
For a whole month, he's gonna be scared now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll be all right.
I would be scared.
All right, City engineer report, the most exciting time of the night, right there. Go.
Good evening, everyone. Quick project updates for you, following up on item from last meeting on the stadium at the water facility there. I did look at it at a progress meeting last Friday. That staining was just from some acid washing they did from some of the gutter and roofing work, so that should fade over time. Teresa and Jesse looked at it and didn't have any concerns, so.
It looked better from earlier this year, so I don't, yeah.
Might have just been a lighting time of day, moisture type of thing, so taking care of that. Western Avenue, did talk with Teresa and Craig at our bi-weekly meeting a couple weeks ago, last week. We're gonna follow up on a punch list, just Tim, myself and Craig just walk the project, make sure, check off what's done, just get it resent to the contractor, make sure it's top of mind once weather breaks, if this nice weather doesn't continue. So just to help expedite that process in the spring. And then lastly, Mickelson Road, shared use path, mentioned at the last meeting, we did get that notice to proceed. So the survey teams have been out there last week, and I think they are going to be out tomorrow, just collecting the last of the data. I anticipate having that ready to begin design later this week or early next. So
Awesome.
happy to answer any questions on the projects or anything else you have questions on.
All right, any questions for Michael?
They're kind of farming kind of close to the easement, aren't they? When I was,
Or into the easement, or
Yeah,
into the city right away, yeah.
We're going to get some T-posts set along the driveway there, just so.
Before they
once-
plant?
Correct, yep, just to delay it, so we can reclaim the right of way. So
yeah.
that's-
Yeah. Yeah. Good. All right, anything else for Michael? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Public Works Superintendent Craig Wagner.
I don't really have any updates to my report unless anybody has any questions for me.
They must have got right after that light pole, I didn't notice it.
So he went and checked and he said everything was working.
Okay,
Yep.
maybe.
So he said maybe it was just, happened to be a brighter day. He said it was, the cold wire was faced into the east.
Oh, sure.
So he said it might have just had the right,
Caught the sun,
yep,
right, just,
So,
yeah.
yep.
Those are supposed to face north, just an FYI.
yep. I think he turned it, so.
All right, sounds good.
How about our solar lights on our welcome sign out by the interstate? You know, the welcome to Hartford sign.
Yeah, we'll get those ordered and get them up in the spring.
Yeah, because I know we budgeted and
Yep.
approved that, so
Yep, we'll be getting a bunch of that
thought
stuff.
about that
ordered,
Friday
yep,
night when we came home.
Winter, yep, spring.
Yep, okay. Anybody got any questions for Craig?
No, is Eric gonna do his wastewater certification too?
Yep, he'll be taking his class 1 in, March.
So he's going to-
Yeah, it's toward the end of March, there's a class coming up in Sioux Falls. So it'll be a 2.5-day training class. And for the class 1s, they go over pretty much everything that's on the exam. So if you pay attention to them in class, you can usually pass first class 1s. So he'll be taking that in March. Jesse's going with him to help him get familiar with what's going on with the class and stuff like that. Plus, he's gonna get continuing education hours that he has to have. And then there's another class coming up in Sioux Falls in April, which is water collection, or water collection, I guess, or something, yeah, water treatment. But, so he'll be taking that class too then, and get working on his ones for that, so.
All right,
I got a quick question. On the wastewater treatment plant, and I'm thinking worst case scenario. I was driving by there on Sunday night. If there was ever like a fire there, this is worst case scenario, but you don't think things happen.
Where's the set? You got my attention now.
Well, because you heard fire, there might be some electrical work. So, and this is more a question of curiosity, like, what's that?
Talking about how to get the fire department in there?
Not necessarily that, like, let's just say if that thing became incapacitated for a period of time. What happens to that flow of water? Like if the generators were burning up and that building started on
So
fire?
that building, once it So from the pump station over on 465th,
Yep,
that's forced to the building.
yep.
Once it hits the building, it's gravity fed all the way through the whole plant.
And so if worst case scenario, you open up your, because you have your grinders or whatever, your agitators,
There's bypasses on there.
you can just open those up and it can just flow.
Yep.
I don't know why I was thinking about that, I'm like, man, like, what happens if,
Nope, it's complete gravity flow.
Okay.
You know, you'd be struggling for your oxygen and stuff like that, which you'd get something temporary hooked up as
Yep,
soon as you possibly could, you know.
okay, cool. I don't know, I was thinking about that, but I was.
Armageddon.
Yep, you never know.
Deep thoughts.
Deep thoughts of Sean Bowen on Sunday night. Thinking about crop water.
All right, anything else for Craig? All right, thank you, Craig. Karen, you got anything for your report?
No, not really. Our switching of Reliant Bank is moving along. We got the customer deposit accounts all switched over because I have all the supplies come in on those. Still waiting for our laser checks to come in on our main checking and our savings, so we'll move all those once I get all the supplies. Teresa and Rhonda and I are gonna participate in some training Thursday morning on Reliant Bank's cash management system. And that's a system where we would like upload ACH files and do all the transfers and things like that. So their gal, that's the head of that, is coming here on Thursday morning, so it's moving along.
Do they offer positive pay?
Yes, they
They
do.
do. Yeah.
So what's positive pay?
You have to tell them what checks or what ACHs are approved, and if you don't, then they send you a notification saying, hey, is this legit?
Oh, okay.
So it helps cut down on fraud.
Sounds like I could just upload a file
Yep.
every time I run checks.
Yep. That's one way of doing it. I do it on the rears all the time. Oh, I forgot to approve that check.
Oh, yeah, I didn't use that.
My positive pay, yep, that's a good one.
Yep, that's part
So-
of their
Yeah, it's good.
package.
Yeah.
So,
So if I'm looking at this, we have close to 10 million, or sorry, 9.3 million on cash. This is liquid money that we're sitting on. Am I reading this correctly? How, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So are we, I'm just kind of curious on like how we compare to other towns in terms of liquidity of cash. It seems like a lot of money to sit on. I know you've talked about that before, you know, where
It's a lot of pickleball courts.
it's a lot of pickleball courts, but are we, generally speaking, I mean, we're in a healthy, you know, so like the public could say, okay, you know, we're spending all this money. We got this wastewater treatment plant, we're doing these other projects, we're spending a lot of money. It's like, okay, well, that's all subjective, but we're sitting on $9.3 million. So from your assumption, are we as a city sitting financially well? You know, please answer, no, yeah.
No, I was just gonna say,
I know it's not quite.
you know, when you look at your balance in your account, do you think you have all that to spend?
No, that's where I'm kind of going with this.
Same principle.
Same principle, so, because we're up 30, close to 30% from last year, so where's,
Well, the revenue's down.
We might need some of that before the
I know
year's
it's only
out.
down 20 grand compared to your 3 million, but.
40.
okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, 20 on the first penny, 20 on the second
That's,
penny.
that number always, I don't know, I kind of started
Fluctuates.
not worrying about it because it depends on when we pay bills
I'd
and
say
when
it's
we.
kind of an ebb and flow, you know, because projects come up and you
Yeah.
got more money coming out, and then,
And kind of a big thing is the 2 surcharges we enacted, we've been collecting that first one for how long? And we just started repayment on that
Right.
first loan.
yes,
So we've got all that surcharge money sitting there.
that has got to go to those
Now
loan
these
payments.
loans,
Now we're paying.
we're gonna start paying on these loans, and then that's
even it out, okay.
gonna go down.
That's a great explanation, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, it's just can't look at one year
It's nice
compared
to
to
look at
another,
it,
because
though.
there's just so much.
It's fun to look at.
Projects
Yeah.
going on, so
Pickleball
it's kind of
courts
a,
get
yeah.
over there.
And we also, when did we start moving money to the money market and capitalizing on that? A couple years ago?
Like a year and a half to 2 years ago.
So we also move some of this money into our money market, and we're getting a better
Return.
rate of return. So we've been making, what did you figure we'd make this year, like a couple $100,000, right?
Yeah, 30.
That's amazing.
Well, I know when we switched to Reliabank, based on our current amount, we could make 35,000 more than we were making,
Yeah.
just in the increase
So-
in their rates.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, if you think of kind of like an offset of that, when you think of like future water tower that's needed, 9 million, that's not too much in there,
Right.
so.
Yeah, like I say, you gotta think of projects
We really don't
coming up,
put that
too.
much. So it's kind of, when you think of like future, next 5, 10 years, and the cost of what that would be, then this isn't really that
What I would
healthy of a
always
balance.
like to see, and this is where you guys tell me I have it, I don't look at it. But like, what did our budget look like last year? And did we deficit spend, or did we put some away at the end of the year? That's where I think,
Yeah.
like, if there's extra money like that we could think about, because it doesn't really budget, we re-budget for this year, we kind of start over, so, I don't know.
And we did 3 or 4 years ago, when we budgeted, we deficit spent, we dug into our return.
With the-
reserve-
with our-
with
with
the
our budget, with the
Wasn't money,
budget,
wasn't
yeah.
actual money spent.
That's
But
right.
when we presented that,
Yep.
we were actually, we were negatives,
Deficit.
we were negatives,
Yep.
deficit spent.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep.
That's been 3 or 4
Probably.
years ago.
But-
So,
So, I don't know, I feel like I don't really know if we're
Yeah.
ahead or if it's just perceptual, but that, like you said, that's a good explanation, that helps.
but I'd rather be in that position than,
Well, if we're 40,000 short a month, from what we budgeted, we might need some extra cash, depending on how this year goes.
since it's a tax-related comment, I caught late this afternoon, they were trying to not let that 3/10 sunset on the 27 and 27.
Over
I think
property
that,
tax.
yeah, they wanted to leave it on forever, but I think that failed. It's gonna sunset in 27, so it'll go back to 4.5, the way looks right now. That's what I seen today. So, anyway. All right, anything else for Karen? Thank you. Teresa?
Yeah, my report's in the packet, not much change either, just want to point out, DSU last week did insert a device and tried hacking into our system. On one day, they hacked in 22 times, we stopped them all, locked up our server though. So we were down for a little bit because they had to actually come out here and put our server back online, and it took a little while, but the good news is that we were able to stop all the attacks. So, they're gonna complete that up probably this week. They said they will put together, just like Homeland Security report of, what we did well, what not, recommendations or whatnot. When I get that, I will kind of give a master report to you guys, kind of what is recommended and what I think we should follow up through or whatnot. So, probably the next month or so, we'll be seeing that. And like I said, Homeland Security has that grant out there, so if there are things that we say our firewall, or, things that we need to spend money on, that grant covers things like that 100%. So, that's a good thing.
Can it help with software
Yep,
while we
software
are
upgrades, hardware
purchasing our new
upgrades, yeah.
laptops and things? Is there any way to?
I do not think it will do like a union laptop. It's got to be related to
If we,
cybersecurity threats, I guess, yeah.
like two-factor authentication or something with a token or?
Could be, I would have to check into that. No, like I said, once I get this report and look at it all, I can then go to Homeland Security and see what they'll help with and what they won't, what this grant will cover.
Just
and what
give
it won't.
Chrissy a call and see what she says. Give Chrissy a call.
When do we get our new emails? When we
So
have our
that's good,
computers?
I know that's one of the recommendations from Homeland Security, is that taking your Gmails,
I
everybody's
brought this up
emails
2
away and
years
going to
ago.
a .gov, because they are more secure than .gov. They have another process through them. So I know, talking with Homeland Security, that's on the list for them, is to,
Right.
because even like our regular, through our website, they want everybody to be on a .gov system. So it'll be sometime this year probably, because
Yep.
that would be one of the recommendations.
And
for-
A and B, who does our IT, can facilitate all of that, I would imagine.
Yep, they've been working with us,
Yep.
for filling out the forms and everything and whatnot, so So yeah, so we'll look for something from DSU shortly, and we'll have discussion going forward. And I did put a note in there, Tyler Torgerson is going to be here at the next meeting. He was originally going to come here, but he said I'll have more of a regional update for you guys at the next meeting. So he plans on coming there. Our District 3 meetings, and this is what the municipal league puts on every year. You know, the states is split up into different districts. Our district's kind of in the southeast portion of South Dakota here. After the legislative sessions, every district has a meeting where they invite everybody to, it's for kind of social hour, a dinner, and then the municipal league kind of gives a short presentation on what is passed and what hasn't passed, you know, in the legislative session, and what would be a concern to municipalities and what we need to know. So it's a good meeting. I usually always attend it. It's in Lenox this year on March 24th. If anybody wants to attend, just let us know. They're taking reservations up to that date. So if you can let me or Karen know, we can get you signed up for it. And then the other thing I just want to point out is that I'm going to be attending a city managers meeting. We're having our first conference that we've ever held. We usually kind of do a lot of Zoom meetings, but they're going to actually have a physical conference coming up on March 18th through the 20th. It's in Harrisburg, so I don't have any overnight stays or whatnot, so I need approval for that, but I just want to let you know I will be, the 18th is just at night. It's a social, so that, you know, I'll be in the office all day that day, but it'll be all day on the 19th and then half a day on the 20th, so just letting you know, I'll be out of the office during that time attending that meeting, so.
What's Forward Partners? What do they do?
Are you looking at their agenda there?
Their schedule, yeah.
From what and I don't know, I've just printed out this because I haven't got any other information than what I put in there, but basically I think, from what I understand, is that we're going to focus on working with relationships with council, with the citizens. I know there's going to be a session talking about so you don't get burnt out in the position or whatnot. I think it's kind of focusing on that kind of things for it.
Very good. I was just curious. Looking at it right now.
All right. Anything else, Teresa?
Nope.
Any questions for Teresa?
You taking any calls from any concerned citizens about the proximity of the new Smithfield plant or anything like that?
Yeah, I thought maybe we would today, but no, we haven't had any
Nice,
calls come
nice,
in with
okay.
that, so.
Bit of a reach, but you never know.
Yep.
It's a little close.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if it was on the other side of Sioux Falls,
Definitely see it.
Where is it? Is it going
just north of Amazon.
north of Amazon? Or do we know which lot it's going on out there? I mean, I looked at the foundational part.
So where they're building CJ
Plan.
Foods,
Yeah,
I would say
There's
between
Amazon.
CJ Food and the road that runs to the interstate that runs past
I think
Crooks.
it's north of St. Texas, isn't it?
The road that runs east and west,
okay.
what I would call the Crooks Road.
Yep.
And between that road and CJ Foods in that stretch.
Yep.
Yeah, then parcel north of
It's
CJ
a lot
Foods.
closer to Crooks then.
Oh, it's definitely closer.
That's gonna,
I think they might see some changes there. or
Oh, yeah, I've heard from,
Need housing.
I know a couple people live there, but, you know, it's not downtown Sioux Falls, so that's always a plus.
The plus side is, you know, with a new facility like that, hopefully there'll be a lot more improvements as far
Yeah.
as smell and pollutants and that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't think you're gonna have the same Smithville plant up there that you do downtown now, so.
yeah, it might change the population.
It'll change some demographics.
We don't get a lot of east winds, so that'll help
The
too.
yellow part is where
Yeah.
it's going.
Yeah.
CJ's is in there.
Yeah,
so-
the Schwann's right there.
Right, that's the, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
north of that. Yep. All right, anything else for Teresa? If not, we'll move to new business. First up, we have a review, approve, an abatement for parcel number 68839, it looks like. Any action?
I'd make a motion to approve the abatement for parcel 68839.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Carlson?
Yes.
Mattson?
Yes.
Mullen?
Yes.
Keel?
Yes.
Horacek?
Yes.
Schilling?
Yes.
All right, next up, we want to review the advertisement that we put together for our economic development projects and approve advertising said plan. So this goes back to budget time. I think Travis made was instrumental in getting this started, that we would set up a fund of $100,000 for economic development projects, but open it up to groups within the groups or businesses or entrepreneurs that have specific projects that they would like to present to the city for help.
You know, it's my understanding this is just for the advertising, which is really no cost, because it's really a low, like Facebook type of stuff.
Right, we'll put in Facebook,
Yeah.
So it's
we'll-
not
on our
even-
website, we'll
The
direct people
100,000
there.
is only for the.
Projects,
Yeah,
yeah.
for the
Oh,
projects,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. What we're talking about tonight is if everybody's okay with the criteria and what we put together, that we would start
Yeah.
promoting this and putting it out there.
Yeah, I like the worksheet.
Yeah, and last fall, we kind of put this together and we reviewed it and I mean, there ain't changes since then. We have a little advertisement, and then we talked about when a project does come in, what's the criteria, you know, of how we're going to rank it or whatnot. So we put together the criteria worksheet. I do know of one entity that is interested in submitting a project here shortly. So I just want to make sure we're all on board with this and what the process is going to be. Like I put in my report, you know, I see that this entity will, you know, fill out the top portion of this criteria, submit that along with their project, whatever their plans are, what they're proposing, and their supporting documentation with that. I can see us getting that, sending it out to the council for review, everybody ranking it how you see. I can compile those rankings then, and then at a council meeting, we could have the compiled information, you know, on an agenda, and then you guys can decide what, if any, funds would go to this project.
I'll make a motion that we approve the advertising for the economic development plan.
Second.
Any more discussion?
Just a couple questions. Do we, and I'm just, maybe I'm kind of putting on my Cindy hat here with,
We'll see.
do we need to put any
Cindy
sort
doesn't wear
of,
hats.
what's that? Cindy has
doesn't
many
wear
hats?
She doesn't wear hats.
Oh, she doesn't wear hats? Okay. It's a figurative of speech. I don't know if you. Do we need to put any sort of legal language in our advertisement? Once again, I'm thinking, and maybe not, it's just a question of, if you've got 5 entities or 5 different people, do we have to put any sort of legal language within that advertisement?
As far as what, addressing what?
I don't know, like, you know, we're basing our decision that there's no, kind of like, you think of like, if you put out a job posting there, you have a,
Equal
Well,
opportunity.
equal
think of this
opportunity
as
employer.
entities that come in at budget time for budget. Anybody can request funds from the council. and
Yep.
It's up to the council's discretion of whether you budget for it or not. It is kind of the same premise of that,
Okay.
is that you guys can decide it's city funds of whether you want to expense funds to it or not, yeah.
Okay, and then no, that's a good point. And then the next question would be, within the qualification for this, do we want, so let's just say ABC organization wants to participate in this, do we want them to put down what their budget request is? I mean, you know, because maybe somebody has a small project, and they're like, hey, we don't need
It's on the
$100,000.
top of the
Is that-
worksheet.
Okay, I was looking at the worksheet, so I missed
It's-
that, okay.
It's requested funds, so they gotta put it on the amount that they want, and like I said, I would have them submit this with all their supporting documentation of what they plan to do, whatever that may be, and how they plan to go about it, so then I could send them this worksheet and their supporting documentation to each of the council members,
Yeah.
you know, give you guys a week, 2 weeks, whatever, you know, you guys decide you want to review it, rank it, we can compile that, and then we can put it on the city
Okay.
council
Yeah.
agenda.
You know, I think everybody will have different viewpoints on how we
Yeah.
steer it. To me,
Exactly.
feasibility is gonna be really important,
Yep.
because I just don't wanna throw money and then it's gone this year and
Right.
they can't sustain whatever it is. Or is the city gonna sustain it, or what does that look like?
Is
So-
there a timeline of when we would like these done?
There is no
So the money's
specific
gone.
timeline. Go ahead.
Till the money's gone.
Okay.
When money's
I just
down.
didn't know
Oh, yeah,
if we
once
wanted
you-
to,
So say you got a project that wants $100,000, if you guys decide to give that all to that one project.
yeah, I guess I didn't know if there was like an end date, kind of like a, hey, here's
It's
the
budgeted for this
advertisement,
year,
have your criteria in before, whatever. I
To
didn't
me, I
know.
think you'd want to leave it open, because say nobody comes forward until this fall or what.
Yep.
I mean, the funds aren't available this year, and if you have funds
Full budget.
available, I think you guys would want to entertain any project that.
Well, and if we have a good project and we spend it, then
We
we can
just,
try to budget next year, I guess.
Well, and then we just advise everybody, hey, we had a great project, here's what we're doing, this is,
Right, here's
My
some
question-
Where the money
economic
went.
development and-
Is, are we gonna make sure it gets like to our community, other groups? Are we just gonna be like webpage and Facebook and whoever sees it, sees it?
Well, and then that's kind of some of the things that I threw out in my report, you know, it's so hard to get information out to everybody. I would thought we could maybe work through the chamber too, to get on their list of email to send it out through. You know, like I said, we really, you know, we can throw it in the paper, how many people see the paper, you know, we can
Yeah.
throw it in our newsletter, how many people see the newsletter. But yeah, if you guys got ideas of a good resource of,
I was just trying to think of
Like, it's
like
people.
other community organizations that maybe we, like, not that we necessarily already fund, but like that, like things like the Optimist Club.
Right.
Or,
Jamboree days, I mean, we fund them, but, or don't,
you know, just like a broader thought process of community leaders.
Women of today.
we'll be on a digital
Yeah.
banner here.
could be
Yeah.
in marquee, yep.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean,
I'd say-
I guess I don't know any master list that
Yeah.
has all those or
And I
spotted. If-
I
yeah, if you
really
got a good
think
deal
some
for
of
it,
those
great.
questions might get answered when we put it out. I think we'll know.
If you,
Yeah,
like,
people-
I envision if you push it out to the chamber, they would probably
Yes.
push it
Jill
out.
would
to all
push
their-
it out.
And a lot of those
Push out more.
organizations are a part of the chamber. like
Correct.
The Optimist, you
And
know, a lot
hopefully
of.
people, you know, we put it on Facebook, will share it and can
Yeah,
push it out
yeah,
that
yeah.
way as well, you know, that would be,
Yeah.
yeah. Get people to
Hartford
push it out as
happening,
much.
so, yeah.
All right.
Just turn the
I'll
comments
share it,
off
but
on
my
it. Turn the
followership
comments off
isn't
on
that
it.
big, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, anything else? We had a motion and a second. Any other comments?
Were
Any
these
other?
projects that were available just to Hartford citizens, is that right? They
Well-
have to have residents in Hartford, did they, or not? We talked
I don't
about
think
that
so.
one time, no?
Like, whatever they're doing has to be in
I was
Hartford,
gonna say, I
right?
think the project has to be in Hartford, whatever
Okay.
they're
But if-
doing, if you're gonna spend Hartford
Somebody
funds
was
on it.
Maybe
but
some
if it's-
developer from out of town said, hey, this aligns with
What I want to do.
what I was
And I
gonna
wanna do
do.
it here in
and-
Right.
Hartford, yeah,
Okay.
I can see that happening,
Right.
yeah.
That's a great question though,
Yeah.
Darrell.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily have to be a resident to apply, but the project has to be within the city
Right.
limits of Hartford.
Would you have a question for you guys? Would there be a time frame when you would allocate the money? Would it be after the project is substantially complete, or, you know, so you didn't give it out ahead or anything like that?
Basically
I think it's
upon,
gonna be how they need the money, because I think some projects maybe won't get started without funds.
right,
I mean, I don't know, I'm just
Right.
guessing, I mean,
yeah. Some of
think it's
those
gonna have
deals
to be
with
their
grants though, you
proposal.
have to turn in the receipts to get the cash.
right, and some, yeah.
Right.
I think we could agree to that when we approve a project.
Yeah, because I think they're gonna have to,
Yeah.
like I said, when all said, after you guys review it, it's gonna have to be on agenda, they're gonna have to come to, so I
Oh,
think
yeah.
those are maybe some details
Yeah.
that we can have that
I
discussion on.
feel like-
Whatever the project may be.
As wide open as it is, there might be some smaller projects where, yeah, they aren't gonna have,
To make it happen, they're gonna need the,
yeah,
yeah.
versus working with an
Request
existing
from the other
business or someone with a
Sean's putting his response.
more
Especially if
resources
you-
where we could
Yeah.
reimburse for it.
Especially if we even compare it
Okay.
to Jamboree Days, Hometown Christmas. We don't make them give receipts to be able to get funds. We give them the
Right.
funds so that they
Right.
can.
Yeah.
I think it's
It
gonna be really
depends on-
subjective.
it depends
Yeah.
on
I
the
think it's
Both-
gonna be a
open.
case by case.
Yep, I think it'll work both ways.
I'm excited for this. I think it's kind of a unique opportunity, hopefully, to drum up some curiosity, some
Yeah.
excitement, some, and who knows, we might get a bunch of proposals, we might say, nah.
Go
This is
ahead.
actually the city just paying for something that we didn't budget for.
Yeah, right. No,
All
this
right.
is great. All right, you ready to take a?
No other discussion? Let's vote. Schilling,
Yes.
Horacek,
Yes.
Keel.
Yes.
Bowen.
Yes.
Mattson.
Yes.
Carlson.
Yes.
All right, last up is an item that Teresa and I have been talking about that I wanted to have a discussion with the council. I'll let you explain.
Okay.
Last
So
thing.
we've been having discussion, been discussing it too with Craig and Karen about what could be a better budget process. That would be maybe more time efficient than
It's a great idea.
having, every group
Was it
come
your
up
idea?
here and making them sit through the first
I don't
part of the
think it
meeting
was.
and then
This
come
one
do the
wasn't.
presentation and the back and forth. And we all know, we have to have a whole separate meeting for budget just so it's so time consuming. And it's time consuming regardless if you have those requests. So I kind of threw it out to other cities. How do you handle this? A lot of them do it, it varies, I should say, it varies, kind of the process. Some do it like we do. Some don't recognize visitors at all during the budget meeting because they say it's a council workshop, so they don't let them talk at all. The one I like the best, because I feel you need to hear what these entities, were requesting and why they, have that conversation back and forth with them. But some of the cities do it like we are proposing this. They have, prior to budget, whether it be June or July, have the mayor, a couple of council people, the city administrator. We sit down and we just have that conversation outside the budget meeting. It's like, what is your request this year? Why are you requesting it? Have those questions back and forth, kind of can have a more one-on-one. That way, gives the city a chance to ask those questions that would normally be at budget time. And it also gives that entity that time too to be able to justify why they are requesting those funds. We would be able to sit down with each, have a meeting with each of those entities, have that conversation, and then this committee will put together a recommendation of, we recommend so much to the fire department, so much to Jamboree, da. That will be incorporated into the budget that's presented to you guys. And like I said, you guys vote on that budget, so at that time, the people that are involved with those conversations, if you don't agree with them, you can take it out, you can
Yep.
keep it in or take it out. It's still all up to the council, but like I said, it makes it so hopefully it'll streamline the budget process and make the budget meeting a little bit quicker. You won't have all those entities sitting here for 3 hours that night, and having those discussions at the budget meeting. They'll happen ahead of time.
Seems like a little friendlier process, to be able to sit down with them versus having to stand at the podium.
It does, and I think there could be more of a conversation held too, we give, it's a long meeting, they only got so much time, maybe it could be a little bit more time taken with them for, them to fully explain their position. More questions can be held, on the city's end as well, so I think it would give them,
I think it's a great idea, I really do. My only recommendation would be to, because we're talking about budget, right? So because we're talking about taxpayer dollars, I would like to see that maybe formed as a special meeting versus a committee. I just think that, we all have to make decisions on, sometimes, this could be, I'm just thinking of the committees or the organizations that ask us for money, that could be in total of $500,000. That's probably a rough number, depending on Parks and Rec, Fire Department, Jamboree Days, all those things. I personally think it's a great idea. I would be curious if it makes sense because it's a budget thing, and this is not just a little bit of money, it's a lot of money. I personally would like to see that set aside as a special meeting so that we're all here, or at least the city administrator, in addition to the council, because the council is the one who makes, these are decisions. So that would be the only recommendation that I'm not gonna die on that hill, but I think it would.
so you're thinking doing it,
Have a
have them
special
all come
meeting.
to a meeting,
Yes.
special meeting.
Yep.
And
Yep, let's do this.
same, just like we did
Let's do
budget,
this
but
in-
it'll just be for their request.
And let's do this in public, because I think that there is I think that the public should hear about this versus behind, and I'm not saying, I'm just using terminology here, instead of behind closed door, I don't want to use that terminology because that sounds negative, but that's not where I'm coming from. I just think it'd be good to make that public, so, hey, you know,
I actually agree with you.
yeah,
I'm
I'm totally cool with the process, yeah.
I agree, I love the fact of it being a separate meeting. I just think, for myself, it is gonna be harder for me to make a decision if I can't ask questions.
Yep.
And I think that I agree that it should be publicized. It should be on YouTube. It should be
Yep.
a public meeting, that we are not having individual meetings that are not public to all the organizations that, for any of our residents and individuals of the wards that would like to view what's happening with
Yep.
city budgeted funds.
Yep.
That maybe don't want to come and sit, but might be the two people watching.
Well,
Whatever,
if we do a separate pre-budget meeting, first of all, I think giving money to nonprofits is different than paying fire department, sheriff's department,
Correct.
and even,
Ambulance.
yeah, all
Ambulance.
of that. I think that should not be the same.
As a Jamboree Day or DHI or
Yes.
Yes,
economic development.
correct.
So,
I agree.
But if we have a special meeting, can we, can we assign times, kind of like we do the hearings, so that people don't have to sit here all night?
Like I said, you're probably still gonna have that
Sounds
2-hour
like we
meeting
should
with
just
all
keep
these
our
people.
budget meeting.
You're just
Yeah,
having another meeting.
really,
No,
and
just
that, I will say, so, this was, Travis always, he loves to always say that these were always
He
his,
thought of this.
always his ideas. But, and then,
You're gonna let him get away with that?
There, you know, things got a little tense at the last budget meeting, and I'm like, how
and
can
that's
we-
really what drove
And
this.
I wasn't here for
How
that.
can we make
Just
this a
so
little
public
less,
knows.
Yeah.
like, stand up here and bare your soul and potentially plead your case, and then.
I think that got tense, and I wasn't here, but that got tense because I'll just say this publicly, I don't care, is that a public official got out of hand.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
the one thought after we've been discussing this is exactly what Sean said. I anticipated, I put myself in you guys' shoes, same way, Michelle said it too. Are we taking the ability for you guys to be able to ask those questions away? That was the one question I had. What I was looking at it, and I think what Travis's goal was from the beginning was, let's see if we can streamline this process and not have such a,
I still don't think it's terrible to have a separate meeting.
I think it's great to have a separate meeting.
then do we just give them a time slot?
Give them 15 to 20 minutes.
I mean,
Just set them up and give them a
Yep.
time
and
slot?
then the night when we're actually going through and doing the voting and all of that,
Yep.
you know, is the budget night, and we don't have us doing presentations. I mean,
Basically,
it's still 2
yeah.
hours, it's gonna be 2 hours.
We've heard all the stuff. And I think the other, my hope
Plus,
is,
then you have time to think about it.
That's the other thing. So like, I've always felt it to be super awkward when you have groups
yeah,
asking for money and you're listening, and then we move on from those agenda topics, and then right from there we go to vote. It's like, hey, wait a minute. If I could think about, like, you know, I think doing some more
Well, I'll
discovery.
interject this,
Yeah.
like, we have the agenda on Friday, and we have a whole weekend to look at it and think
Right.
about it, and we have Monday and Tuesday to ask those.
Yeah, I've got a
questions.
full-time job, so it's
Well,
kind of hard
I
sometimes.
don't
Yeah.
disagree.
Budget, you get it a week
Disagree.
early.
Yeah, but if you're trying to be fiscally responsible to the citizens, having another meeting where they pay us,
Right.
you know, this isn't necessarily,
I would argue the opposite of that, is that sometimes you have to spend money to make the best
To save money?
decisions, to save money,
Sure, okay.
to make those best decisions.
so can
good
we,
point, good point.
can we come up with a consensus that we would attempt to make our budget scenario a special meeting, time slotted for each group to be able to come in and make their presentation. Council asks them questions, we move on to the next one. Then at the official budget meeting, we've had a chance to ask all the questions, we have the information, we approve the budget. That fair?
And I do agree with Cindy that I don't think, like, the things that, like, our fire,
Yeah, those guys,
Ambulance.
right.
they do
So
not.
every,
You're
so it's a
needed-
separate entity, they have to request funds from the city.
Right, but I
That's
feel it's
different, though.
different than our
Yeah, I mean,
nonprofits that
how
are,
you
yeah.
do it is one of, but
I like your viewpoint of, this is specifically for a
I'll say this.
a nonprofit, right?
Because
Having
I
that
would even
category.
argue, like, I don't know that our park and recs need to come to that. We have a city board. That's a different,
They vet out their requests publicly
Correct.
at their
Yes.
meeting.
Yes.
So what I would say, my next thought on this whole process is, let's move more groups to line item. I think that's the words that I think maybe I even said that to you guys. Let's have more of them be, they're a line item, they're on there. Fire department, Hartford ambulance.
Yes, those would be a line item.
They are
yes.
line items, so they're basically, they're gonna give us their stuff, but they're gonna be on the budget. They don't even need to come and make a presentation, in my opinion. They're gonna give us their stuff. We're gonna approve,
Unless it's out of the norm. They've
Let-
got a
yeah,
special request or
right.
something.
Yeah, we need a
It's
fire
kind of
department.
Opening a can of worms there if you don't
All right.
have them.
not even coming, but,
No, that is.
They could ask for $1 million.
I would say, yeah, I would
Line
say
item.
that with those services, there's a difference between the county sheriff or the fire department versus a Jamboree Day or DHI, okay? So I think it makes perfect sense moving them to a line item, because these are, in my opinion, I think we'd all agree, these are needed, this is a needed service versus a total nonprofit.
And then I don't agree with that, I'm just thinking they should probably go through the same process as everybody else.
Sure.
Have the request.
Yeah.
And that way,
Oh.
if it seems out of the norm or whatever, you can still have questions, but they're still a separate entity. But like you said, then you can decide at the end of the night that fire department, ambulance, or whatever, we're gonna line item these in the budget, and the rest are still gonna stay at requests in the budget.
that's fair.
Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
And all with the
I'm not
same.
quite there yet.
Okay.
So, you're talking about a meeting, but before, I think what you're talking is almost like a subcommittee where.
No, it's a
would it be
meeting.
really- Well, no.
no,
no,
the
but
original.
before this.
Oh, my original, yes.
Right. So then with the committee, I think you could put in different people besides the city council people. Like, if, I don't know, if there's some city employees that would help with determining is this a good idea for the budget, or some
Oh,
more
sure.
knowledgeable, or knowledgeable
Yeah.
people that would help the council members or whoever was in that committee.
Right.
And then the city council on your budget meeting, when we get those items, they'll know that it's already gone and been approved by the committee, and then that we could just sort of move forward quicker with the
Right.
budget, in the budget meeting.
Right.
But
I
that's-
just like to ask questions.
Yeah, and we're
I
the
wanna
ones,
ask
we're the
questions.
ones in charge of it, so I think that's I don't wanna hammer too hard, but we're the ones
And I don't
up
wanna
here
be on
who
another
make
committee.
those decisions regardless of what Craig or Cindy or what anybody else up there thinks, so I would say,
Yeah, not having been at one of those meetings, I don't
Yeah.
know how much help that we need from
Right.
other personnel.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'll trust you guys if you want to do another special meeting. I'd like to be involved in that special meeting. so.
and you would be.
Yeah.
That's
That
it,
would
if
be
we
the
did a
whole
committee,
council.
then only
I
a
think
few
that
people
would,
would be.
yeah.
If we did a special meeting, then we're all at the table, right?
So
That's fair.
I assume we would do a special meeting like in July, 'cause then we can get this request
Whatever.
put together and worked into the budget, and then
Yeah.
that budget information comes to you guys in August.
Yep,
Sure, that special meeting could have, like you said, time slots,
Yep.
Great.
yep.
try and get through them quicker.
And we could still hopefully have it be more conversational if there's not a big.
Correct. Yep. Yeah, that's fair. And really,
And still a breakdown of
I
specifically.
said, we could
where
still
the
have
funds are.
the same request form, hey, you send us
Yeah.
your budget,
Yeah.
your.
because there's still certain
whatnot.
information we're gonna need.
Right,
Then, when
we
it
can
comes
still
to
have-
budget night, that's really, you still give the community an opportunity to interject if they feel the need.
Yeah.
They could come to that budget meeting and be pro or against.
Yep.
A certain entity
Yeah, and
getting
if
money.
they wanna
Exactly.
sit here for 2
Yeah.
hours and attend, they can.
Well, I think the other benefit too is just with the council and the continuity. If we start not having people getting that history during budget time.
Oh, sure.
And then you have
Yep.
turnover.
Right.
I mean, it just
Yep.
could get problematic with understanding some of the issues and where the money's going.
I know I have, I'm charged with taking these ideas and
You got, yeah.
putting them into action.
Yeah.
I don't care what these
Yeah.
people say about you guys, this is a great idea.
Good job, great job.
All ideas are good ideas.
Do we need a action
But really-
or just conversation?
I think this is a
Okay.
conversation at this
Yeah,
point, and then.
really, that was when we decided to get this on the agenda, this is why. Because I wanted to have this discussion, I wanted to see what everybody thought.
Absolutely.
I think it's a great idea.
Sometimes you gotta throw something out that makes everybody mad.
You don't do that very
Sidewalks.
Rule, no more rabbit holes.
Okay, all right.
Not on the agenda.
Carol, you're not saying anything.
We are going into exec for personnel. And can we say economic development?
If you talk about economic development.
Do we have economic development?
We can do that.
Yeah.
There's some economic
Yes.
development stuff we can talk about.
Oh, and before we go into exec, 4 years ago, this meeting was when Jeremy had resigned and you guys decided to make me mayor. And Cindy got on council, remember that?
Wow, I came back
It's
quick
big,
after
first
that.
of March, it was the 1st of March, but this was the meeting in February when that whole ball started rolling
I didn't know what I
downhill.
was.
So it's been,
Wow.
it's been 4 years.
Nice.
Well, congratulations.
And,
Been 4 great years, I'll say that right
boy, your timing is impeccable, Craig. All right, do we have a motion to go into exec for economic development and personnel?
So, second.
All in favor? Yeah. If Cindy can stay, I want you to stay for a minute. I gotta talk to you.
We're good.
All right, do we have any motions from the council?
I'll make a motion based on the review of regional wage studies to give a 5% wage increase to the following individuals: Neil Hanish, Jesse O'Kane, Kyle Christensen, Rhonda Gupta, Terry Hagan, Paul Clark, Jennifer Stangland. Also, a 20-cent per hour raise for Eric Lupkeys for attaining an additional certification, a 20% raise to Teresa Seidel, a 10% raise to Craig Wagner, and a 10% raise to Karen Wilber. Effective the next pay period.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. Carlson,
Big yes.
Mattson,
Yes.
Bowen,
Yes.
Keel,
Yes.
Horacek,
Yes.
Shelley.
Yes.
All right, no other action in front of the council. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Right, well, thank you guys very much.
A little longer now.
Thank